Hey guys, my name is Alex. I'm the editor-in-chief of irrationalpassions.com. I know, big internet website, huge on the internet. Some might say one of the most popular. We're beating IGN right now, but I don't like to brag. Yeah, no. If you haven't heard of it, that's fine. We're a small site. If you're wondering why this guy, this stupid-looking kid, is the editor-in-chief, it's because I made the site. I am also founder, so I get to call myself whatever I want, and I chose editor-in-chief. So please check out the site, irrationalpassions.com. No www. Screw that stuff. So this is my first time doing something like this, kind of like a video blog, I guess, if you want to go there. I wouldn't really say it's that, but it's something I'm trying. I'm going to hopefully talk about stuff, stuff that's my opinion or stuff that's relevant or stuff that maybe you guys care about, maybe you guys want me to talk about. So I'm going to talk about Tales of Grace's F. It's a little hard to see. Hopefully I'll fix that. Again, first time through. This is actually my second take of this. First take, it was too dark and the audio was terrible. So now I'm recording the audio on my computer and recording the video on this. So if it sounds out of sync, probably is. Hopefully everything comes out well enough though. So yeah, this is me basically a video opinion piece. Now, I'm not going to do it on the $99 Xbox that came out yesterday because I actually wrote an editorial on that, which should be on the front page of irrationalpassions.com. Check it out, please. Tell me what you think via email. It's in the link to the article. So instead, I'm going to talk a bit about JRPGs. Again, I don't know if it's visible on I'm like looking at the screen on the camera. It's not on that, so maybe it is in the final version, maybe it isn't. But Tales of Grace yeah. But more specifically, I'm going to talk about JRPGs and Western RPGs because I'm doing hand motions down here that would look like this. Because I've come to a realization over the past few months that I love JRPGs. I love JRPGs more than I like Western RPGs. And I love playing JRPGs by myself. As my fellow podcasters on the Irrational Passions podcast will tell you, they call me a dick for it all the time. So I love playing JRPGs on my own, solitary. I like to think of it as a solitary experience. There's something about Western RPGs, and I'm going to get into it. By Western RPGs, I'm talking about Fallout, I'm talking about Skyrim, and I'm talking about like Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. Those big RPGs made by Western developers, and they're out of tradition of what RPGs used to be. RPGs like Final Fantasy, RPGs that's it. Like Final Fantasy, JRPGs like Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy. Tales. And I don't know. There's something about that really traditional JRPG that I love. When I'm playing Skyrim, I'm just going to use Skyrim as an example for now. It's the characters in Skyrim. They don't jump out to me at all. There are characters. There's the only two characters I can think of right now from Skyrim is Ulfric Stormcloak and Alduin. Because they're the only two characters that get any kind of development through the main story, at least. And Ulfric's not even really a big part of the main story. He's just part of the beginning. And they're like the two only like really interesting characters, that and the leader of the Greybeards, which I won't spoil the big secret about him. But yeah, the leader of the Greybeards I thought was also interesting. I can't remember his name. But it was just, there was a lot that was kind of forgettable about Skyrim. Like, there was no, like, one weapon that I thought was particularly awesome. There was no one quest, save for maybe a couple Daedric quests, which were just crazy, that I thought were particularly memorable. This is just my personal opinion. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine. I like to hear about that stuff. I like to know what you loved about Skyrim. It's just nothing really stood out to me. It was more that game. What I remember from that game were the crazy things that happened to me that half the time were just technical screw ups on the game's part, and it's those things that I really remember. Like when I'm going through a forest and a mud crab sneaks up on me and scares the bejesus out of me, or when I'm going through that giant underground cavern and I find the dragon that lives underground, the secret dragon, as people have been known to call it. It's stuff like that. That's what I remember. Those one or two few like really great personal experiences that you take away and no one else does, because it's different for everybody, because it's your story. You go where you want, you explore where you want, and I see that is the appeal of those games. That's why people who like those kinds of games like Western RPGs more than JRPGs. Like Tony and Joe on the podcast, they prefer those experiences over some other experiences I'll be talking about in a bit. Because they're more personal, and they usually end up being more crazy, and they end up being great stories that you can tell on a podcast or on a video like this, and that's cool. But I don't know, the stories they're not as valuable to me as the characters that I meet along the way in JRPGs. Now I'll say, like, when I'm talking about really great characters, I'm talking about Final Fantasy VII. As much as some people hate that game, say it doesn't hold up, I think it does. I've played it within the past year, and it is still great, in my opinion. Maybe I'm biased, maybe I'm not. Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Graces, I'm counting on you guys can't... I'm doing stuff down here, I swear. I'm not masturbating. That's just sick. I'm probably going to cut that. But there are hand signs that you guys can't see. I'm sorry. I can't just do this because I look like I'm crazy. But games like those where, there are characters that join your party and that you meet along the way, it's stuff like that I love. And I just feel like they're more personal. I know they're not. Technically, they're not. Everybody plays those games, and everybody can have the same exact experience. But to me, the illusion that it is personal, that this character that is so well developed, it's like they're a real person. And take that with a grain of salt. I know a lot of you are like, JRPG characters are not well developed. Some of them are not. That's true. But again, it's all like an illusion. You get your head in the moment, and everything feels real to you and personal to you. This is, again, I'm speaking for myself. I could just be crazy or like once in a time, but like when you go down the character arcs in Persona 3 or 4, this is a good example because not everybody sees that. Some people see different full character arcs in those games. It's so just personal that you feel like Persona's one of the minority of games where you kind of are that character. Minority of JRPGs where you are the character, you are the main character, and the main character is a reflection of you. But like those experiences are so genuinely personal, in my opinion, that they're memorable. Like I still remember Chie's storyline from Persona 4 because I thought it was really interesting. And Yosuke's and Junpei's from Persona 3, and like the nurse who's the devil tarot card in Persona 4. It's stuff like that. It's personal stuff. And though anybody can see that, anybody can have the same experience, the illusion that you are the only one seeing this and this experience is unique to you, I think that's great. I think that's what sells it for me. But, moving forward, it's also past those characters. It is your character that in JRPGs, you are rarely given a chance to make your character. You're usually given a character that is established, where it's completely different in Western RPGs. In like Mass Effect, which again, Mass Effect doesn't really apply in a lot of these categories because it has other characters that are very important to the development. So that's why I haven't really brought it in as a comparison yet. But in Mass Effect, you make Shepard. Shepard is you. There's no getting around it. Past the ridiculous humanization of Shepard in Mass Effect 3, which if you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. All the decisions, all the dialogue is really, it feels like you talking. so that character in that world feels like you. But in JRPGs like Yuri from Tales of Vesperia or Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, those characters are characters and they develop. And yes, you have some dialogue options with them, but they're nothing is detailed as, say, Mass Effect. Nothing that will change the course of a relationship with another character. But the thing is, I know this is not how it works at all. Well, I feel like, whereas in Western RPGs, again, this is how it is for me, maybe not for you guys, but I feel like in Western RPGs, where you develop as a person and then your character develops in reaction to you, I feel like in JRPGs where your character is developing, as that character develops and you learn more about that character, you develop. So it's like the reverse, where like, oh, the character is developing, I'm developing, as opposed to I'm learning more about this universe, so I'm developing my character, my reflection, my persona. And that's weird. That's, unique to me. Maybe not all of you got that, but I like when I learned so much about Yuri and his determination going into the second act of Tales of Vesperia, where he's like, I'm going to start making my own path. I'm going to start doing things my way, and they're very it's illegal shit. He's, I'm going to start killing people that deserve to die, and I will make the judgment call, and I will live with the responsibility of, taking those people's lives. And he does this multiple times throughout the game, and it's like you're seeing this different side of Yuri, and you're kind of rooting him on too, because you want that, and it feels like that had an emotional effect on me. And I don't get that out of Skyrim. Skyrim, I am a nameless, faceless character that just walks around and gets quests. And sure, things happen, but there's no development with the people around me. It just goes, and then that's it. And I know some people will disagree. And again, I'd like to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think of me loving JRPGs so much for so many different reasons than Western RPGs? Excuse me. I'd like to know. Send your responses to mailsack@irrationalpassions.com. That's our podcast email. That's mail sack@irrationalpassions.com. And we'll talk about them on the podcast. Check that out too. Irrational Passions Podcast. You can find it anywhere on iTunes, on our website. Please listen. We put a lot of work into it every week. So, yeah, let me know what you think. You can also send me email, alex@irrationalpassions.com. That's fine. And let me know, because I want to gather some other opinions. Like, I've talked, now let me hear you talk. So, I hope you guys like this. Again, I don't know. This is my second take. I said all of this and more before, so it's weird doing all this again. So, I don't know if I'll be able to do this again, or if this will come out okay. Hopefully it will. So maybe this will be a good thing for the future. I'll keep doing these on a weekly basis. If you like it, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff, and check out the podcast. And if you think there are any ways I can improve this, let me know, because I'd really like to know. I'm open to constructive criticism. So yes, please check out all those things. You can follow me on Twitter. For more of just me, at Alfighter27. That's ALFIGHTER27. That's my Twitter. And again, I love JRPGs. I love Western RPGs, though. It's not that I'm hating on Western RPGs. It's just a preference. So if you have a preference, let me know what it is. Please. I'd love to know. With that, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, and peace.